Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 8, Episode 3, and today we go to second place Chelsea in the Premier League. Remarkably, if we win the game, we could go above them after a brilliant first half to the season. I don't quite know how to explain what's going on in this Premier League season. Tottenham are on their way back up now, but they're down in 10th place and we're dragging behind for some time. Arsenal were down in a relegation battle after a disappointing spell last year, and even Liverpool have struggled to get up to speed. They've just recovered to 6th now. Watford are up in the top 4 with us, which as a Luton fan isn't too great to see, but to be in with a chance of going second on Boxing Day is something I didn't quite expect this quickly. We have to give a lot of credit to our director of football, whose two main signings light up the player stats screen there, and with the third highest scorers in the league and the lowest for yellow cards. I couldn't ask for much more from the lads. We're playing football the right way and we're competing at the top end of the top division. The only slight change that may come up in January is the Tottenham job's now available. They've got the Ballon d'Or winner in Horace Stewart, the young English striker, so it could be a tempting offer if they give us a lot of money, but they've got quite an ageing squad now, and do we want to go through that regenerating process again? I don't think we'd get instant success with Tottenham, and because they've been so used to winning major competitions in this series, I don't know if they'd give us the time to rebuild. Especially with a director of football needing to be relied on. At this club we've got one of the world's best director of footballs, and he's been doing absolute wonders with a relatively small budget, so we don't want to have to take a risk of leaving for a similar stature of club who have just been having a few good years. We're up in 3rd anyway, so why would we want to leave when we've got a chance at the very least of getting into the Europa League next year? I'd love to bring European football back to Newcastle, then I think I could leave without any hard feelings from the fans if I've taken them back towards the elite. Obviously if we're competing brilliantly we won't leave unless there's a realistic offer, but I'm really looking at starting to get to the elite clubs in each of the big divisions. I love the Bundesliga and want to get a chance there. The same in Italy really. The only one I'm not too worried about is Spain, but obviously with Real Madrid and Barcelona we wouldn't be able to turn one of those down, especially at the moment considering we're not in the running for the title. I know we're a few points behind, but City are going to be miles clear. You can trust me of that now. But let's have a look at what's been happening since the last episode. We've been in absolutely fantastic form, and we said at the very end of the last one, if Bernard starts scoring off camera, we'll manage to be consistent and compete at the top. He's been doing just that, and as a result we've been right up there. So you were with me last for that 3-2 defeat against City. We followed it up after the international break with a 2-1 win at home to Stoke. It was Bernard and Iwobi with a late penalty there, sandwiched by a Pizarro goal for Stoke, but we managed to nick the 3 points in the end. Then away to Fulham a week later. We've had a lot of Monday night games by the way. We won 3-1 there. Mason Greenwood with a late double off the bench. We were 1-0 down and playing awfully at half time, but thankfully in the second half we came to life. At the start of November we got a win at home to Bournemouth. Gilmore and Bernard in the first 10 minutes, and it was a completely comfortable performance from there. We didn't have to do much, make any subs, we just let the lads see out the game. That's my excuse anyway, for the fact that I wasn't paying much attention and didn't realise we were in the 90th minute. We then went away to Everton and had a really disappointing 4-1 defeat. We went attacking at 2-1 with 10 minutes to go, and unfortunately they got 2 more goals after that. However, since then we've been 5 unbeaten, despite a couple of disappointing draws, and all in all we have to say, we've played against sides that will be in the bottom half or mid-table, and we've largely got good results against them. We've got a tough spell coming up now. Chelsea, Tottenham, United and Liverpool all in the next 6 games, and I think that will shape just how much of a European contender we are. We've got an easy game against Colchester in the FA Cup, and obviously we'll be coming back in the middle of those games as we have a reunion with Barnsley at home on the 17th of January. But let's carry on after the November international break. We won 3-0 at home to Southampton, a Bernard brace with a Douglas Luiz goal in the middle. That Segundo Volante role has been an absolute revelation for me, something I've never used before, and it's worked absolute wonders. It's something I'll certainly consider in the future, and that's why I love this series so much. You have to play with tactics and adapt to things you wouldn't normally use, and I've found an absolute gem there, just by it being forced, in one midfielder being a defensive midfielder, and one being a natural central midfielder. Having that last year meant we had to play this way, and playing to players' strengths is always going to make them perform better. We went away to 4th place Watford, who weren't 4th at the time. We won 4-1 in that one and absolutely dominated. An own goal Gilmore and an Oliveira brace, possibly the best free agent I've ever seen at the top level. He scored 8 goals in 18 games and got 8 assists as well. He's now worth 32.5 million. He's still one of the lowest paid players at the club. Might be the best bit of business our director of football's ever done. And I've been doing this series off camera for 6 or 7 years and I never remember a better bit of business than that. A free agent at this level of the game to produce those performances is something unheard of. So well done to him. That's absolutely sensational. We then drew 2-2 at home to Brighton, a team that were doing quite well last year. Bernard and Iwobi got the goals for us, but a very late equaliser cancelled it out, and unfortunately we settled for a point. We then went away to bottom side Huddersfield, who obviously featured in Thursday's episode of the other series with Torquay. They're in the Championship on that one, and here it looks like they'll be going down this year too, but we weren't able to get a breakthrough against them, and we were held to a goalless draw. We then got back to winning ways in emphatic style against Burnley though, on TV just 4 days ago. It was one of the best performances I've seen in this series so far by any of our sides, and we won it 5-1. Ranzan getting a brace off the bench, Bernard scoring again as always, Konza getting one from centre half, and Daniel Arzani opening the scoring. Couldn't ask for much more from these lads, and now we've got a really big spell coming up. Our next 6 league games are those 4 massive teams we mentioned, the reunion with Barnsley, which will obviously be an emotional one for us, and then Wolves at home, the club we rejected to come here. It looks like it's proving to be the right decision, but if they beat us in that one, they'll certainly get the bragging rights. I'm sure it's got out in the media that I rejected Wolves to come here, and I'm sure the fans will let me know if Wolves win that game. But let's get into this game against Chelsea. I've taken a little bit of a risk today with us playing Wolves in 2 days' time. I've rotated the squad, almost conceding possession in this game, possibly giving away the victory at the expense of trying to guarantee a win against Wolves in 2 days. Wolves have got a massive game. They've got 18th place Barnsley at home today. A win will pretty much guarantee they won't be in relegation trouble this year, so I'm sure that will be their priority as well. If they win that and we lose this, it should mean that we'll be able to beat Wolves, but you know football's never that simple and it could go very wrong. But let's get a look at the lineup. We've rotated a bit as I mentioned. We wanted to give some people opportunities as well. Greenwood's getting itchy feet because he's not playing too much, and to be fair to him, he's been brilliant whenever he comes off the bench. Ranzan got a brace 4 days ago off the bench too, so he's got to come in for a chance. Lavinas started the season. He's been displaced by Arzani's return to form, but we're going to give him a game too. Rivera comes in as a more defensive option in midfield, and we've also brought in Riedewald at left back as Jamal Lewis has been struggling for fitness. So that leaves our lineup with Raya in goal, Matiju and Riedewald the fullbacks, Konza and Lascelles in the middle. We'll change a few of these tactical roles as we get into the game. Luiz is the segundo volante as always, Rivera in central midfield, and then Lavinas, Iwobi and Ranzan in a line behind Greenwood the substitute striker. We've dropped Billy Gilmore and Jamal Lewis from the squad entirely. Arzani, Oliveira and Bernard dropped to the bench, and we've got a few other players in reserve, Mulatieri, Danilo and Congolo. Congolo looks like he's on his way out. He's starting to get offers from China and America, and he's starting to decline physically at a very quick rate of knots, so I wouldn't be surprised if we cashed in January. Our director of football already rejected one offer. He was very unhappy and we've promised to sell him for this bid, so hopefully our director of football will oblige. But let's get into the game and see if we can get a surprise result at Chelsea. A very attacking formation for Chelsea. If you remember one of our first episodes at the club here last year, in fact I think both of the first two, that Larson on the right wing caused chaos as they beat us to a place in the Carabao Cup final. They've got Jordan Pickford in goal, the likes of Zuma and Christensen still at centre half, and the Celtic youngster Tierney now a developed left back and captain for them. So plenty of world class stars everywhere, and we're going to have to do very well to get a point. We've told the lads to prove a point, they're all motivated by that. Let's get to the tactics screen and give ourselves a chance. We're going to put Rivera as a central midfielder on defend. Riedewald's going to drop back to a fullback on support, just slightly more defensive. Lavinas will go to his preferred winger role, and I think aside from that, we can leave the team as it is. So let's get into the first half, see if we can pull off something special. It's us with the kickoff with Greenwood. We go back to Ranzan, now Lascelles. We don't expect the first highlight to come to anything, as long as we don't concede, we're happy. Lascelles hoofs it out for a throw, and Chelsea are coming forward on the left. He's headed away as far as Douglas Luiz. He can't control it though, and it's gone back to Chelsea. We've forced it all the way back to the keeper, and Raya finds Lavinas brilliantly. Now we're charging. We've got a 4-on-4. Lavinas makes it to the edge. Ranzan shot's blocked, and it's calmly played back to the Chelsea keeper by the fullback who's covering inside. Larson runs up the other end, and Riedewald fouls him. It's end-to-end stuff, and some quality wingers just running at the defence. They all look petrified as Ibrahim puts the free kick wide. 90 seconds gone, and it's been a lively start to the match. It's 7 minutes in now. Lavinas on the right hand side. Rodrigo heads away for Barella. It seems to be starting with us countering, losing the ball, and then this Larson just running through us again. We highlighted him pre-match, and he's been just as lively at the start of this one. Gedson's got the ball 25 yards out. He gives it to the left winger. He cuts inside and shoots, but luckily for us it's over the bar harmlessly. They're playing the press for the short goal kick, and it's brilliant that Raya's got that passing range. Finds the left wing back Riedewald. He gets it up to Greenwood. It hits the back of Ranzan. Douglas Luiz waits for the run of Matiju. Into the back post, deflects to Riedewald, beats two men and shoots. Pickford saves the first one, and a second grazes the outside of the post, and it's behind for a goal kick, and we're back now for a Chelsea corner. Christensen's shot saved. Zuma with the rebound. Brilliant work from Raya. This has been a fantastic opening 10 minutes. Ribeiro's back in the middle for Chelsea, finds Ibrahim. Brilliant save by Raya again. What a time to come back. Very late in the highlight, and a wonderful save by the goalkeeper again. So the back post, and it's out for a goal kick. I'm not sure we needed to see that one. What a brilliant 15 minutes, and the highlights continue here with Lascelles. We're getting no rest up at all. Matiju brings it forward at right back. Can we build a positive attack? Nice slow, keep the ball. No need to worry about the quick tempo. Iwobi's got the ball in the middle. He switches to Matiju again. Lavinas was running off him, but he's forced back to Douglas Luiz. Matiju again to Ranzan. He's got the ball in the middle. Can he create something special to Riedewald? A very rare start for the playmaker. Luiz 30 yards out finally shoots. The patience ended there, but it was straight at Pickford who holds comfortably. A quarter of the game gone now, it feels like longer. It's been a game full of brilliant highlights, end-to-end action, and two sides right at the top of the league. You can tell they're both in high-flying form. Greenwood crosses on the counter, falls for Ranzan at the edge, brilliant effort on his left foot, just wide of the post, and Pickford was scrambling. Tierney's got a free kick at the other end, a corner even. Larson goes for the shot, but it's given offside, and luckily we don't have to defend another set piece. We've got an attack this time on the right, end-to-end stuff still. Matiju's throw-in's poor, is headed away. Tierney goes long over halfway, but Riedewald gets the ball back to Raya. Raya tries to find it short. He goes to Lascelles, back to the keeper again. Can we build an attack with Matiju? On the right-hand side, space to run into. Long over the top for Greenwood, but Christensen's covering. He undercuts the pass. This happened against City in the last episode. It was Kimpembe in that one who undercooked it, and this time it's Christensen with a poor back pass. Greenwood takes advantage this time, and we lead 1-0 at Chelsea after an even brilliant first half an hour. Two sides at the very top of their game, and what a joy to watch this has been. We certainly picked the right game to come back, and now you can see why we're near the top of the league. Christensen to Rodrigo. Chelsea playing it out from the back just as we have been. They go long to Ribeiro, and now they've got a 4-on-4. It's a poor pass though which Matiju intercepts. Douglas Luiz is challenged, but it's straight to Lavinas. Counter into Iwobi. Into the box and shoots. The keeper went down early and was beaten at his near post. We lead 2-0 at the bridge. Pickford beaten easily. Brilliant work from Lavinas, the wonder kid, and Iwobi puts it into the near top corner. Fantastic start by the lads, and after half an hour of brilliant play, it continues to be a fantastic match. Larson straight down the other end to force a brilliant save from Raya, and that's been the only difference in this game so far. Raya's made a string of brilliant saves, and Pickford's led a couple in. 35 minutes gone. We've had so many highlights. It's been a wonderful game of football. I hope you're enjoying it too. Certainly not helping the voice, but Lavinas is on the charge again, and Iwobi's got it on the left byline. Lavinas at the back post. Brilliant block. Luiz's shot's blocked too. Matiju the third time, and it deflects for a corner. It's relentless pressure now from Newcastle. Can we really kill the game off by half time? The ball to the back post is poor, but Greenwood's going to recycle possession. Forces a slide challenge from Tierney, and it's out for a throw on the left. The highlight finally ends, and we get some respite, although we're back for a throw with Matiju. Ranzan into the box. Greenwood flicks it on at the near post. Straight into the arms of Pickford. That was an easy one for the keeper. Up to Ribeiro, but Konza intercepts. Now Rivera. What a wonderful team we've got here. 4 or 5 changes we've made, as we mentioned, and we're still competing brilliantly against the second place side. Matiju gets the ball on the right. Raya with a brilliant pass out again. Lavinas finds Ranzan. Over the top to Iwobi. Beats Rodrigo. Shoots off the post. Pickford makes a brilliant save that time. Excellent reflexes to tip it onto the woodwork, and it's behind for a corner kick. Lavinas' header's away. It's gone to Greenwood. He goes inside to Rivera. Lavinas with a poor delivery that time after a couple of good ones before. Ranzan goes for the shot from the edge, and it's over the bar. 5 minutes to half time. Tierney coming forward again. We're not getting any respite at all. We might as well have just shown the full match highlight. Gedson hits the post from 30 yards, and Konza hoofs it out for a throw. Lascelles in the centre circle. Absolutely wonderful stuff. I've never seen a game like this in FM. Lavinas on the right. Back to Rivera. Time to shoot, but it's wide of the post. Pickford scrambling again, but that one was always going wide. Are we finally going to get a break to half time now? We still lead 2-0. There is the half-time whistle then, a much-needed 10-second break at the end of the half, but a wonderful game of football, 2 sides in fantastic form, and we've just had the better off it, and thankfully we've had the better keeper too. We're going to go and talk to the lads. They were absolutely excellent, 2 quick-fire goals at the end of a brilliant half, and thankfully we go into the break 2 ahead. Lingard's on for Chelsea, he's come on for Ribeiro, experience for youth, but Raya's got the ball at the back. He finds Konza. We're bringing it out comfortably, but the highlight ends, and the longer we don't get highlights in this half, the happier we'll be. Tierney's got the ball for Chelsea though. They don't want to oblige. Lingard in the middle to Tierney on the overlap again. Ibrahim in the middle. Raya with the save. Matiju hacks it away the second time. Tierney in towards Lingard. Riedewald clears. Gedson with a shot which is blocked as well, but Ibrahim's adjudged to be offside, and the highlight ends. In fact, it doesn't, as we're back with Raya to take the free kick. Lascelles goes long to Lavinas. Couldn't get control of this one as it was a bit high. Tierney charges forward. He's into the box. Out to Larson on the right. Crosses for the left winger, and Raya makes a brilliant save. A wonderful bit of goalkeeping again, and it's behind for a throw on the right. Chelsea with a throw in. Tierney takes it to Lingard. Into the box again. Larson with a header. Deflected away, and Matiju clears. Back to Tierney again though. Barella 25 yards out. Into Ibrahim. Barella again. Gedson shoots. It's blocked. Larson the second time. Over the bar, and surely it will end now. What a wonderful start to the second half. It's picked up exactly where it left off in the first. Gedson to Lingard again. He gets the ball in the middle to Gedson. Brilliant first touch by the Chelsea man, and Lascelles is equal to it with a wonderful block from the shot, and it's behind for yet another corner. Lingard takes it. Louise heads away. Ranzan gets it down for Greenwood. He brings it down on halfway. There's a man over on the left. It's Iwobi. He finds him. There's 2 in the middle again, but the cross is deflected behind for a corner, and we've got another chance to make it 3. Probably our first of the second half actually. Chelsea have dominated this one so far. Lavinas will get a second chance here. Back to Konza, the centre half. His shot's blocked, and now Chelsea can counter. 2 on 2. The left winger's skinning the whole team. He's going to deliver into the box. Matiju heads away. He's had a really good game at right back as well. An hour gone, it's 2-0, and I'm not getting a break as we're back with another highlight. Barella finds Lingard. Lingard out to the right hand side for Larson. He cuts inside and shoots, but it's a wayward strike, and it's gone comfortably wide of the post. It's a corner for Chelsea on the left. Lingard with an in-swinger. Ibrahim heads it straight into the arms of Raya, and we still survive at 2, even though Chelsea have had the better of this half. The short rollout for Konza. He finds Iwobi. Rivera now to Douglas Luiz. They're just playing 1-2s in there, and he goes long towards Greenwood. Rodrigo gets there first though and goes back to the keeper, Pickford. He clears long, and Larson will keep it in. He's been a danger man so far. When he's got in on the right, they've looked a very dangerous outfit, but we've managed to contain him for the most part. He tries to go long down the right. Riedewald intercepts, and now Iwobi comes forward. Ranzan the number 10. Can he find the magic pass to Iwobi? It deflects away, and Christensen will clear. Out for a throw-in on the left-hand side. A quarter of the game to gone. It remains 2-0, and Larson throws it in on the left again. It's breathtaking stuff, this. I've never seen a game with this many highlights. We're only on comprehensive still. Lingard has another clear-cut effort. What a save by David Raya. He has been absolutely wonderful in this one. Christensen challenges Greenwood on the break, and it's out for yet another throw-in on the counter. 20 minutes to go. We're going to make a sub just so we can have a breather. We're going to give Ranzan a little rest. We can bring Oliveira back on the first choice. We're making our team now stronger slightly, if anything, and we'll get back into it for another 5 minutes. We want to separate the substitutes just to make sure that we get some breathers. Ibrahim with a free kick. Raya saves it. He even saved the rebound as well. He blew for offside afterwards, the referee, but the keeper didn't know that at the time, and it's majestic goalkeeping yet again. Larson gets the ball on the right, into Ibrahim. He goes for it again, and it's over the bar. I have no idea how we haven't conceded yet, but I'm certainly not complaining. Lavinas from the right, Lascelles in the middle, but it's straight at Pickford who deals with that easily. He'll bring it out quickly, I've no doubt, with a long kick downfield. Larson gets the ball to Barella. He switches it out to the right to Kessie. Delivers into the middle, does he? Finally he does. Ibrahim loses out in the air, and it's fallen to Barella again. Gedson finds Barella, shoots from the edge, hits the woodwork, and Konza clears behind. Let's make another substitution and have a quick breather to go defensive. We're going to put Danilo as the second deep lying midfielder alongside the Segundo Volante of Douglas Luiz. We're going to leave the fullbacks as they are for now, but we're going to go back to a cautious mentality. We're going to slow the pace down when we get the ball, and we're also going to time waste. There's no need for quick counter-attacks now. We just need to avoid conceding. Let's get back into it and see out this corner. We've got one more trick up our sleeves if we need to waste time. It's Lingard who's going to take the corner. Barella's in the middle, but Lascelles wins it again. He's getting into his 30s now, Lascelles, but he's still just as strong and confident at the back. Just 5 minutes to go. This could be an absolutely unbelievable win, and we may well be in the title race. I might have to scratch what I said. Even if City run away with it, we could be very much up in second. Greenwood holds the ball up again for Konza. Iwobi on the left-hand side. He gets it back to Riedewald. He's got time to run at the defender. Inside to Oliveira. Shoots just over the bar. What a curling effort that is. And now with our last sub, we've got to think about the game in 2 days. I'm going to give Iwobi a rest for a couple of minutes. Bernard will come on up front, and Greenwood will cover over on that left hand side. We've made that one with 2 minutes to go, and we've just got to see out the game as defensively as possible. There's no need to counter attack now, although we've got a free kick with Lavinas. Hits the wall. Can Greenwood get there? He can't, but Luiz recycles possession. He finds Danilo. Greenwood on the left, just hold it up for as long as possible. Beats a man with a lovely bit of skill, and it's back to Danilo in the middle again. He finds Lavinas on the right. We're keeping possession brilliantly. This is showing real signs of maturity, a brilliant performance, and Lavinas gets it to Matiju on the overlap. I'm not so sure about him being all the way up there at this stage of the game, but I can't complain with just a minute left. Even now, they're not going to score 2 goals. We're going to do it and hang on. Lavinas in the middle to Douglas Luiz, and we can enjoy the possession we're having now. Matiju on the right to Lavinas. He's been absolutely brilliant, the wonder kid today. Really stepped up to the plate at this level. He finds Bernard. Zuma's fouled him, and that's just about going to be it. A fantastic performance by a reserve team in some parts, and Lavinas doesn't even get time to take it, which I'm sure he won't be happy about. A 2-0 win away at Chelsea. We leapfrogged them into second place in the league, and I have no idea how this has happened this quickly. The lads were magnificent. We've got to praise them for that, and we'll go and see what the media have said about that. We'll have to wrap it up quite quickly as that game's taken ages. I've never seen a game of football like that in FM. Let me know down in the comments if you've had one as exciting as that. The fact that the score's only 2-0 is an insult to that game. It was a wonderful game of football between 2 brilliant sides. It was a ding-dong battle. They're absolutely spot on there. The media have judged that one perfectly. We're up to second place in the league. There's your confirmation. 4 points off City, but they've got a game in hand. It's going to be a one-horse race for the title, but we may even sneak into the Champions League now. I know there's only 4 points back to Liverpool, and them and United are finding form now, but at the very worst, we've got to aim for the top 7 and a place in the Europa League next year. Let's quickly go to the schedule to see when we'll be back then. We've already said what game it's going to be. We're showing you the reunion with Barnsley. We want to see how they're getting on as well, and how many of the familiar names they've still got at the club. They were really fantastic for us and provided that springboard between the lower leagues and getting to this step of the Premier League with Newcastle, and we owe them an awful lot for the success in our career. So we'll be back with that game in a couple of days' time, but I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please put a thumbs up on the video as always. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that game. From my point of view, it looked absolutely breathtaking, but obviously I may be biased with our performance. I thought both teams were absolutely brilliant, and they deserve to be right up there in European contention. Obviously, the next episode will be in the middle of the January transfer window. We've still got 50 million left and 350 grand on the wage bill, so our director of football's got plenty of manoeuvring room. So where do you think he needs to improve? And more importantly, where do you think he is going to improve? Let me know down in the comments what you think, and we'll see how many of you are right in a couple of episodes' time. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, this one The Head Coach, and then our other series Part of the Furniture with Torquay United, the One Club Challenge, where we try to take them from the bottom playable league to the top of English and European football. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support with the series, and we'll see you next time for a massive reunion with Barnsley.